welcome to L10. I'm Fiona Pando, and we have so many great stories lined up for you. But first, we wanted to highlight some of the fifth formers on their achievements. Congratulations to Ashley Duriswamy and Andrew Tokarski on being selected for valedictorian and Aurelian speakers respectively. They will speak to the fifth form and faculty during events surrounding graduation. In addition, History Master Eric Chappett has been selected to speak to the class of 2020 during the alumni induction pinning ceremony. Fifth former Anika Bagaria is this year's recipient of the Momino Fresa Scholarship. The award, given annually to a member of the graduating class, provides college tuition assistance to the recipient. Congratulations, Anika. Gingered Peach is a bakery on Main Street that many students go to regularly. Our news team brings you an update on how Gingered Peach is faring during the COVID-19 pandemic and how students are continuing to show their love for the bakery.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, I'm Joanne Canady-Brown, owner of the Gingered Peach in Lawrenceville.
So my first question for you is that some restaurants have decided to close while others continue to do delivery and curbside takeout. So how did you come to the decision to do limited curbside orders?
The decision on which way we were going to go after all of this kind of exploded was a difficult one. There's so many factors to take into play. I decided to close the Gingered Peach completely for a little over a month. Right now, we're not even consistently doing curbside pickup and delivery. We're doing what I'm calling now pop-up bake sales. I just decided that it would be me and 3 people, and we would figure out how to pivot and create a new business model on that. So our pop-up bake sales, they only happen every other week, and they happen on Friday and Saturday. So that decision was made based on how do we keep people safe? How do we control the amount of people who are coming to the store? How do we work within the volume that 3 people can produce and then just take it from there? So that's how that decision was made.
So what are the ways that Laurentians can help support the Gingered Peach?
It's so hard to say right now. The one way was support our pop-up bake sales, and people are doing that big time. So please continue to support that. If you're local and you can pick up, please support those. 2, follow us on social media, because if we know that people are still watching, it gives us hope that when we come back, you'll be there.
Well, my friend Grayson, who still goes to Lawrenceville, he sent me a Forbes video of Joanne talking about how the pandemic is impacting small businesses, and specifically how it's impacting the Gingered Peach and the 23 people she employs. And basically I saw that she'd been saving for the past 5 years for expansion, and in the few weeks before they'd been able to figure out a pickup situation to continue making the baked goods, she used all that money to help keep her employees afloat and just help keep the business alive. So I just thought it was really devastating to hear how years of hard work to save up all that money sort of just in the matter of a few weeks sort of went out the window. They're always there to greet you with a smile and ask how your day was. So I don't know, just in my experience and from my memories at Lawrenceville, especially when you're having a stressful week or whatever it might be, just the people at the Gingered Peach are just so incredibly kind, and they really just can make your week.
From practicing her pirouettes to her Season 3 victory on Chalk Jr., 4th former Evelyn Dugan showcases her talents on the stage and in the kitchen. Our features team brings you the story.
How did you come up with the idea to do a virtual cooking class? Were you approached to do that? Was that something that you've kind of wanted to do for a while? What was sort of the inception of that?
We were like, what can we do at home that we wouldn't necessarily be able to even do at school, because not everybody has access to a kitchen and or ingredients like this. And so we were like, why not cooking and baking? So we felt we should start out with a baking masterclass and something that maybe not everybody has made, like cream puffs, so people could kind of jump out of their comfort zones right away, but also have all the ingredients necessary, because it was a pretty simple recipe, ingredients-wise.
If you had to recommend one sort of quarantine cooking item, what would you recommend that everybody during quarantine cooks at least once?
I I think during this quarantine time, everybody should at least try to experiment. Well, if you eat meat, I think you should definitely try to experiment with chicken, because chicken can be very versatile because it's pretty bland as it comes, like pretty flavorless. So I think putting your own spin on chicken would definitely be fun. Everybody should be looking out for future master classes that should be happening. And they're not only going to be cooking, but also we're trying to get one for visual arts starting up soon, and we're brainstorming other ideas. And if you all have any ideas for other master classes or even things that you want to make in the master classes, like, please let us know in the Inter-Arts Council in Seneca, because we would love to hear all of your recommendations.
Now with more headlines. 5th former Celina Dubay and 4th former Cal Wilson were recognized by U.S. Rowing as projected 2020 U19 rowing camp invitees. Because of the pandemic, the camp was postponed this year. Nevertheless, they were acknowledged by the organization for their accomplishments. While Laurentians have been away this term, construction is well underway on the Sci Dining and Athletic Center. The project, funded by a donation by alumnus Joe Sy and his wife Clara, you may have seen her running the cross-country trail or indoor track or even just hanging outside of the Stanley House. 3rd former Charlotte Bednar has made amazing strides in her running career. This is her story.
I started cross-country in like 6th grade is when I really started to run. But in 5th grade, I did my first 5K and I did pretty well. So my mom thought it would be a good idea for me to start. And so that's when I joined the cross-country team, was in 6th grade. If my mom hadn't encouraged me, I probably would have started running, but it may have been later, just because I did run with my dad and do 5Ks and I did enjoy it. But yeah, I probably would have started later. I do plan on continuing cross country. I want to run in college also, and even after college. I love the sport because of the feeling, like after when you do really well in a race, it just feels super good, and just running in general just puts me in a really good mood. So I've always pretty much loved running, even since I was little. I've loved just like being outside and doing like running around and stuff. I started running probably like 5th grade, 4th grade. 5th grade is when I did like a few 5Ks, and then in 5th grade I would go on jogs and stuff like that. My daily practice routine is in the morning I get up and I sometimes go for a run, or I bike, or I do some sort of workout. And then in the afternoon I go to practice where I run, and then sometimes when I get home I do another like little workout or something. The hardest part about the practices is just like when there's workouts, which is like faster paced stuff, it's just getting started. In a day, I probably run about like 7 to 10 miles. A few days before the race, I definitely feel nervous. I more feel nervous like the day of the race, and so I just prepare by making sure I get enough water and I'm well rested. I cope with the nerves by kind of just like watching a TV show or listening to music, just doing anything that can get my mind off of the race. During the race, I'm not really nervous. I more just think I have to win or I have to push. During the race, I'm not too nervous. I just kind of keep going. At Nike Nationals, I was super glad with my 8th place. I wanted to get in the top 10, so that was super exciting for me. And the day before I was able to go on the course, and I ran it twice just to kind of know the course and kind of just get a good jog in. So I knew the course. Nike Cross Nationals was not my hardest race, just because there were so many people around me to push me. So it made it easier because I had so much motivation. When the weather was not the greatest, I kind of in my head I knew that everybody had to go through the same thing. So we wear spikes, so we just put in bigger spikes and kind of just went with it, and honestly made it more fun with all the mud and everything. Breaking my personal record, I was super happy because that's just what like every runner gets happy to do. The chaplains have taught me just like a good training regimen and plan of having like a workout and a rest day and and a long run, and just kind of like how training goes, which has definitely helped me a lot. My advice for aspiring runners would be just to keep working hard, and that it's all like worth it. I'm Charlotte Bednar, and this has been my cross country story.
That's all for this episode. As always, if you have a story to tell, please contact us. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.